All right, it's just gone 10 o'clock. It's Friday morning. It's a very specially extended OTB AM. Delighted you could join us for our 1,000 press-up challenge. Now, there myself or Owen are going to be going next or near that, but one man who is Ray Moylette from Mayo. Welcome on in, Ray. Welcome back.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling?
A little bit nervous, being honest. A little bit excited. Yeah. The butterflies are in the stomach.
What have you been doing for the last couple of hours?
Practicing your push-ups. I did 500 there this morning just to make sure I could do them.
Ray, can I just say, on behalf of everybody who loves sport, thank you for this. You say you're nervous. I've got a few butterflies in my stomach, that feeling before a big match or something like that. We've been deprived of this for 5 weeks, actually being able to watch somebody on the tightrope of will he, won't he, for ages. So thank you on behalf of sport lovers for bringing us this morning.
No problem at all. This could be a mix between cage fighting and javelin. I don't know what's going to happen here. It definitely won't be. I don't know, will it be fan friendly television, but there'll be a bit of pain along the way. I think that people are. If anyone's just looking in, I think that's what they're looking for.
Any final thoughts for us before, because we want to get you into it pretty quickly. Any final thoughts for us? You're doing it on a carpet there, I see. Is this a sort of carpet, can we consider this performance enhancing?
This is a spring-loaded carpet. I tried that. So I'm in my sitting room. I tried to make this something that I would do I tried to make it like a boxing dressing room. You know, this is in my head. It's a challenge and it's a fight. So that's the way I have to prepare. So I've the Irish flag there in the background, which we usually do in fights. So it's just about getting the head focused and ready to go for that.
Right. Well, you're going to be tuned into us all the way as we go through this. We're going to wrap up hopefully just after 11 o'clock. We've been chatting to you about your technique. You're going to try and knock out 17 of these push-ups in various guises per minute across 59 minutes and hopefully try and get there. And we'll try and catch in with you at various points. Not to bother you too much. How do you feel about sort of chatting to us at various points through? Okay with that?
I'll definitely be able to check in, and I would love if you could keep this link open, and if I can. So I'd love to listen to the show while I'm doing it as well, if that was possible.
I think that should be okay. We'll check with the production team on that. But I think that
let a shout out to me. You'll be able to judge when my breaks are coming, and let a shout. I'll give a quick update as I can.
Great.
And just a disclaimer: this is live television, so anything can happen, and there's no guarantees.
Listen, we're behind you. We know you can do it. It's for a great cause. It's all funds going, and since we spoke about earlier on, you've raised almost another 1,000 euro. You're done well through that 5k on the road to 10k for a couple of great causes as well for HSE frontline staff and for Pieta House. All details up on our social channels. Should we get going?
I'm ready to go. Just give me a second to get a drink of water, and I'll get my counters here ready to go. And will you give me a countdown?
Yeah, we'll give you a countdown from 10, and then and we'll set you on your path. We've lots of great people we're going to catch up with as well over the course of the next hour. I'm sure I'll be giving you plenty of encouragement. So do definitely try and keep us open there, and some guys to hear those words of encouragement, and we'll come back and check in with you as well. But we'll give you a countdown from 10, Ray. If you give us the nod that you're ready to go.
Okay, guys, and just thank you very much for all the donations and the support from everyone. And I'll put my life on the line for this one and try and get it over for us all.
Come on, Mayo's finest, Ray Moylette. Let's do this. Let's do it. We can do it together. We'll give you a countdown when you're ready. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 1. Let's do it. Moylette is underway with the 1,000 push-up challenge. About to get underway with the 1,000 push-up challenge. The clock has started, and we are underway.
Excellent early technique here, Adrian. I think it's fair to say, absolutely pounding the carpet there. He's obviously got that thingamajig for the chest to ensure that he is getting down properly. And as we can see, he's managed to complete his first set of 15. Looks pretty fresh, looking pretty good. As you said, Adrian, we'll chat to him at various intervals, but we don't want to chat to him too much because we're just going to tire him out more than he needs to be.
Yeah, and it's obviously the opportunity to knock them out over a course of a minute and then take a bit of a breather and get back into it again. I mentioned we have some great people we're going to catch up with over the course of the next hour, and we definitely have that. We have Eric Donovan we're going to talk to very shortly. obviously former teammate of Ray, and a guy who knows what it takes to get through these challenges. He did one of the Jolene challenges, if I'm not mistaken, at some point over the last few weeks. So we'll get his thoughts on technique and endurance and all that sort of stuff, and a bit of a chat with him as well, an update on how everything is going from him from a lockdown point of view. It is Mayo, Owen. So there really is, when you talk about Mayo-ness, maybe his credentials on this front have slipped somewhat over the last few days, because he's been copping a lot of flack for his selections for the Mayo Rushmore. But really, when it comes to Mayo, it's the one name that's on everybody's lips. Nathan Murphy is going to join us at about 10 or thereabouts.
He will
push
have
up
to probably
techniques.
adjust everything. Yeah, well, he'll have to adjust his Mount Rushmore. This is a successful outing today. One thing I didn't quite appreciate is just how quickly these push-ups are being done, and how, I obviously knew they were going to be really good push-ups, and I'm like, okay, I've clearly been doing these things wrong all my life. The 45 times I've ever attempted a push-up in my entire few decades on this earth. But I didn't actually appreciate just how quickly he'd be doing them as well. So this is going to get interesting, I think it's fair to say. He's on 34 at the moment. He's got his 2 sets of 17, I should say, not 15. He's doing them in 17s, and 34 with 58 minutes left on the clock.
I did the Eric Donovan off the couch challenge. People will, I'm sure, it was etched in their memories. We were chatting about it a couple of weeks ago. And on the face of it, it was like 6 different disciplines that you would do 50-20, as Eric would have had it. So you do 50 seconds of exercise, 20-second breather. I explained at the time it was far more of a 50-50 for me at the very minimum. But a lot of them were actually quite straightforward to do until the dog's work of having to get into the second rep and then the third rep. And it really starts to take its toll. And I know he's listened to us, but I'm sure that a little bit later in this challenge that's something that Ray is going to have to face into as well, that they're easy to knock out over the early stages on. And it'll be the grit as that clock starts to tick down where the pain will kick in.
And how close did you get to the 50? How close did you get to the 59th rep, Adrian?
59th rep. I didn't get all that close. I 3 reps of each. Was it 3 reps of each? Or 5 reps? 3 reps of each, I think that I did, yeah. Tough going. And some of it was push-ups, which I hadn't really attempted in about 10 years. I probably will leave it an equal time again. So we've just over, you can see there, 56 minutes on the clock. We're getting to close to, I think, probably in the region of over 60 press-ups now, when that live counter is updated in just a moment after that last rep. So we're taking along nicely. I think we're pretty much on track as to where we should be. 68 reps is where we're at. You can see Ray taking a bit of a breather there, give the legs a bit of a break. How are you feeling?
Oh, great. Yeah, keeping well. The first 10 are easy. The first 10 minutes, the clock gets faster, and the push-ups get harder after that.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on you there. We've all our counters going. The clock is going. The live counter up there as well. Niall Kennedy is somebody else we're going to check in with in around 10-12 minutes time. Ireland's top-ranked heavyweight, training away. He's been following him on social media. You'll have seen his progress there, and he's a guard as well, an active guard. So I'm sure we'll be able to give us a bit of an insight as to what it's like on the front line as well in that regard. So we'll talk to Niall Kennedy about 25 past. Aidan Power, people will be familiar with Aidan Power from his broadcasting career over the years. He's also a boxing nut and aficionado who also partakes a fair bit himself. So we'll get his take, and a bit of a gym bunny too. So we'll get his take on exactly, and his words of encouragement as well for Ray on exactly what goes into this. So that's roughly what we've got planned out on over the next hour. You're going to join in at some point. You've committed to joining in for about 20 minutes or thereabouts.
Well, one thing I have committed to, I'm just looking up the GoFundMe page at the moment. This is all obviously being done for Pieta House and HSE frontline workers, currently on €5,513 of the €10,000 target. I'd encourage everybody who, like us, can't do a push-up to at least do something, and perhaps if you can afford to donate a couple of quid if you can to a fantastic cause. That is why we're doing this, of course, today, Adrian. Of course, the process of seeing a man do 1,000 push-ups is good in itself, and I would 100% do that. But actually, the fact that it's for charity as well just makes this a great event.
Yeah, interesting to hear Ray talk at the very start there about getting himself in the mindset for it, that trying to replicate what a dressing room would look like and get the vibes going and get himself in the mental space. Of course, he wouldn't have had the two of us prattling on during the course of his boxing career mid-round, but we're just under 55 minutes into it now. 102 press-ups on the live counter, so we're very much on track.
Yeah. So what is the technique here in your eyes, Adrian? Like, I think I'd be keen to see if this changes. I know we're going to be speaking to him, Sean. I'd be keen to see if this changes throughout. If there's like different variations of actually keeping himself less tired. Just shattering yourself late is obviously the aim of the game here. It looks like he's gone for the same technique every time. I presume that it's just coming from the shoulders and the elbows at good right angles almost there when he's coming down, which is what you want, Adrian. One expert.
Yeah, well, you have to have that technique, obviously, in terms of we want to see full and proper push-ups every single time. Obviously, press-ups is the thing here. I would assume that sort of the Paula Radcliffe thing might start to kick in at some point a bit later in the challenge. Not that he'll go and need to sort of relieve himself at any point, but that the technique might, it tends to happen, obviously. The technique suffers, that's the whole point. As the pain kicks in, the deeper into it you get. 119 done now after 53 press-ups. So, yeah, I mean, the technique so far looks good. It looks solid. It looks very efficient, I would say. What's your own take?
Well, like that's the whole thing here. The efficiency is something that I'm actually kind of surprised by. I shouldn't be, because we kind of know the magnitude of the task at hand here. I think he's going for a bit of a steadier sort of rate of push-ups here, perhaps to maybe conserve a little bit of energy. You can see the little hole at the top of a push-up every so often. Perhaps that's just to get a greater grip on the carpet. You mentioned the carpet being some form of PED earlier, Adrian, which I think is hugely disrespectful, to be quite honest. And I think that it's actually perhaps the grip. If you get a bad grip, basically you're stuck in that carpet. There's no letting up on that carpet today. The conditions are tough out there.
I retract that PED comment on. That was absolutely out of order. And the more I think about it, actually, as your palms get a bit sweatier and the grip starts to loosen a bit on something like a carpet like that, actually, I think that bonus points is what I'm saying. Bonus points are down a carpet. Probably far easier on a concrete floor or a wooden floor where you've got proper grip, and the slip slide of a sweaty palm has less of an impact.
We've also got to appreciate here that he's doing this in the hardest way possible because he doesn't have the pile of dung in front of him to encourage him to do the press up. We've got a comment in here from Darragh O'Toole says, I think I'll err on the side of the professional boxer on press up technique, to be fair. Absolutely disrespectful. Completely disrespectful from Darragh O'Toole this morning, I think it's fair to say. We are the doyens of press up completion rate. Like, as I say, we might even be in double figures for our career press ups completed ever. So you got to listen to us, and we'll provide the insight today.
Yeah, Darragh also says Hon Island 80, which I'm sure are words of encouragement for Ray, who's holed up out in deepest Mayo. I don't know if people have been paying, how much attention people have been paying up to this point. We have a lot of people with us this morning. We're delighted you could come on board, and there's a bit of live sport for you on a Friday morning. There's a bit of a challenge involved. We're 153 press-ups. I think that live counter might be about to update, but another 17 in just a moment. We shall see 51 minutes into this challenge of getting to 1,000 over the course of the next 50 minutes, or a little bit over. And all for a couple of great causes as well. There's a lot of people watching us this morning. Thanks a million for swinging by and seeing exactly how Ray's getting on. He's flying it so far. He's just nearly 10 minutes into this, and he's absolutely flying it. There is a GoFundMe page that you can head along to. It's nearly at 5.5k. In fact, it's gone through the 5.5k, and we're up to 5,633 euro. So great work by Ray over the last while. With donations there, and all for a couple of great causes. All money is going to the HSE frontline staff and to Pieta House as well. So if you are watching us this morning and there's any little bit at all that you can afford, do please head over there, check it out. You'll find the GoFundMe link on the Off the Ball social channels. Head over there and make a donation.
Absolutely. Just to clarify, Darragh O'Toole was not talking to us and picking up on our commentary of the technique. It was actually to another commenter in the comments. So apologies for that, Darragh. He does say, I've seen Ger Gilroy's press-ups, and most people would pay good money to see them performed again. Of course, that was in the El Clasico, in the first big press-up challenge the world has ever seen. That was Ger Gilroy against Matt Cooper, I think, back in the day. So perhaps we can put that back out once Ray Moylette has brought press-ups to the wider world once again today.
Ray, how are you feeling now?
Not too bad. The first 10 are up. I'm going to change my technique and tactic. 10 and 7 in the minute now.
Okay. Technique change coming up. You can see he's from this vantage point that the technique has changed up a little bit already there with Ray. Lots of words of encouragement coming in for you, by the way, and that GoFundMe page is ticking along nicely. So keep at it. Jimmy Snickles, who's questioning some of your technique here. You're not meant to tuck your elbows in a little bit more, he asks. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about the naysayers. The top is off, folks. The top is off. This is, if nothing else, at least going to result in a landslide of extra viewers, I'd imagine, over the next little while. The top is off, and Ray is getting properly stuck into this now. 49 minutes on the clock, and that ticker is ticking along very nicely as well. We're very much on course for those 17 per minute, and as he mentioned, he's going to just change it up a little bit now as the pain starts to kick in a bit. We did mention that we'd have lots of special voices joining us over the course of the hour. Delighted to say Eric Donovan joins us on the line. Morning to Eric.
Well, how's it going, lads? Well done, Ray. Keep her lit.
Are you watching?
I'm watching. I'm supporting as well. So and donating. That's very important. We can all watch, but we have to donate. That's the main job. That's what we all have to do to help support the house and the frontline staff. And
we just have lost your line there, Eric. We might just try and establish that and get you back in the line and get your take on Ray's technique here. We'll re-establish that line with Eric Donovan there. But yeah, do keep your comments. Any words of encouragement coming through, we'll put them straight through to Ray, who's in his, as he said there beforehand, in his dressing room. He's in the fight. He's in the ring now as he pushes on through this. 204 have been racked up. We've 47 minutes gone, or close to it. So we're getting there. Keep your words of encouragement coming in. Dave Hare has been in touch on YouTube. Owen says Niall Coakley from Carrigaline has been claiming that he can do this for years. But we see no evidence of it, Dave.
Oh, Niall Coakley of push-up fame.
Is it?
I don't know.
This means something to you.
Well, I've just realised here that we're only 13 minutes in and we're already a fifth of the way in here, which kind of shows how, as Ray was saying, how tough the task going to get and how far pleasant the first few press-ups are, because we're 214 in already, still 47 minutes to go. So the next 786 are going to be tougher, you suspect.
Yeah. Laura Cusack has been in touch saying, seriously tough challenge. Well done, Ray. And she got the strong arm emoji in there as well. Well done, Ray. Knock that ice dancing such and such off Mayo's Mount Rushmore. Go on, she says, or he says there. Some chat that Nathan Murphy may have to revisit his selections for the Mayo Mount Rushmore. It's not as if we could do a U-turn on that, having already chosen it, of course. Eric, you're back.
hello.
You're back. You're with us. What are you thinking about his technique so far?
I think his technique is not too bad. He just momentarily looked a little bit ragged there. I think it was about 2 sections ago, and I just said to myself, "Is there something wrong with this guy? Is his arms going like jelly or what?" And is the pressure of the live stream getting to him? But then he just stood up and took off his top, and the best is coming out in him now. No, but this is a brilliant challenge from Ray, and fair play to him. It's fantastic what he's doing here, and it's very important that everybody donates to the frontline staff and to Pieta House, because these are vitally important for a lot of people, to give them the best support we can.
Will you try and give us some context on exactly how hard this is? You've obviously, somewhat famously in the last few weeks, done that Jolene challenge. We saw you had a tough go, and give people who have no sense of how hard this is some sort of an idea of it.
Oh, it's very, very tough. Very tough. There was a challenge going around there a short while ago just about how many press-ups you could do in one sitting, and I tried to do as many as I possibly could, and I think it was 112 I got in one go, but I wouldn't be able to. I certainly was wrecked for the rest of the day, but I don't think I had a pad under my chest like Ray, as I probably wasn't going down the full way. You're talking about margins here. The fact that Ray is hitting his chest off this pad every single time means that he is going down a proper full distance, and he's having to push his full body weight, upper body weight back up every single press up. So yeah, that's going to be really, really tough. He's up to 255 now at the moment, but I'd say when he gets into the second half of it, when he gets past 500, then his arms will start to feel like jelly, and there will be a tingle in them. I loved his little, for the first couple of sessions that he was doing there, he he was taking the lid off the bottle, getting a drink and putting the lid back on the bottle. And then he just, after 4 or 5, he just tossed the lid away. And I could see that was a great move. No point wasting energy putting this lid back, or this cap back on the bottle every time. So, no, he's thinking well. He's sharp in the mind, and he just has to keep persevering now. I love the fact that he's done up the sitting room the very same way as he would when he's gone out to a fight. I just hope he doesn't have to do the Paula Radcliffe thing and destroy his mother's carpet there, because it looks pretty decent.
There is almost that mindset of the fight, isn't there? Like, I mean, when you get into it, it's, there's probably a part of it beforehand this morning where we had spoken to him a bit earlier, and there was a bit of nerves kicking in, and he was, like you said, trying to set up the front room a bit like it was the dressing room before he goes out into the ring. But at some point, and you can see some of it maybe now, there is that thing where you have to try and get tapped back into the mentality of a fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. This is a battle. It is a battle, and there's pride at stake as well. And not only that, there's a lot of people watching, and so that has added pressure as well. But that also has added motivation. And then the biggest one of all, the biggest motivation of all is who he's doing this for. And the money that has went that he has fundraised already. It's been brilliant, and that must be spurring him on. Every time you're talking about the donations going up and up and up, and getting closer to that target of 10 grand, that must be giving him so much inspiration and motivation as he's going along here. I know it would. Yeah. I know it definitely would for me. So keep her lit, Ray.
It's got up. It's got up to. It's nearly at 6K now. There's lots of donations coming in as we're chatting away. Aisling Downey's been in. Porrick Bergen, Cormac Bernard Murray's been in with a great donation, Brian Mulrannan as well. So keep them coming in, and we're very happy to give you a shout out to anybody making those donations as we go through it. How are you getting on? We've been chatting to you at various points over the last few weeks. How are you getting on with everything?
Yeah, pretty good actually, considering the way things are. But you're just, what can we do? Everyone's in the same boat. You just have to try and keep busy, keep active, and very lucky to have the kids are here, and so we're kept busy, and just trying to keep up my training as well, and I'm bringing some online fitness classes as well 3 times a week to everybody that wants to avail of them, and through my YouTube channel, and that's it. That's all we have to do. It's not a lot. We're asked to stay at home, we're asked to keep busy, and we're asked to stay isolated. It's tough enough, but it's not not a massive task to ask anybody to do, when you consider the frontline staff are going into work every day and leaving their family and leaving their kids and going in to help others, to try and give them the best possible chance at survival. And, they don't know what they're going to encounter either as they go along and do their day's work. So it's really difficult for a lot of people. So it's a small thing. We're asked to do a small thing, and I think everybody should try and adhere to that.
Yeah, I mentioned a bit earlier on, I tried your off the couch challenge there a couple of weeks ago. Jesus, it's tough.
Well, I did
50-20, you must be joking me.
Yeah, well, you can do 50-30 or 50-40 or, whatever suits you, but it's a great little exercise to do without any weight, and it's a challenging one as well. So I did say, it is challenging mentally and physically. There's a lot of easy ones out there that you can do, but if someone wants to get the juices flowing and a real test, then that the 50-20 is the one.
Yeah, well, listen, the dog's work is how I'm describing it. You've been very good with your time. Any last words of encouragement for Ray before you leave us?
Oh no, just keep her going, Ray. Just think about the reason you're doing it, and we're all supporting you. We're delighted for you, and fair play to you, man. Much big respect. Good
stuff. Come on, Eric. Take it easy.
Thank you. Thanks.
Great words of encouragement from Eric Donovan there on the line as Ray Moylette furthers this push to 1,000 press-ups over the course of the hour. We're at 340 now. We're right on target for that 17 per minute, just under 40 minutes gone. He's absolutely flying it along. He spoke to us over the last couple of days about the change in technique that he'd have, the little breaks that he'd have to take, how the shortening of the reps would occur at various points. The shirt came off about 10 minutes ago. But he's powering on through this now and absolutely spot on target. A reminder as well that the GoFundMe page is tipping along absolutely beautifully. Nearly at 6K now on the goal to get to €10,000 raised for the frontline staff of the HSE and for Pieta House as well. So if you have anything at all that you can spare, that you can head along and make a donation for a couple of great causes, please do head along over there. And we're very happy as well. If you leave your name on our GoFundMe page, we are very, very happy to go along and shout that out as well. What are you making of it, Owen?
Unbelievable. This is... I'm just really interested in the kind of ratio here that we're up to 357 press-ups now with 40 minutes, 39 minutes to be precise, left to go, and just how much of a slog this is becoming and how tough it is. But you mentioned the technique earlier on and how that's probably going to change. And just to go back to what Eric was saying, the pad underneath his chest, there's no easy way out here. He could have left that pad off, and 90% of us might not have actually noticed the difference, and I might have actually allowed whatever the last few reps to be a bit easier. But he's going full hog on this. He's not taking the easy way out of this. And I must say, just to reiterate again, outside of Ray Moylette, the star of the show this morning has been that carpet. Absolutely perfect. I've never seen such a good hoovering job done on a carpet.
How are you feeling?
Not too bad at all, lads. Not too bad. The struggle is coming.
You're spot on target anyway so far. We'll grab a word with you again in a couple of minutes. Take your breather there. We don't want to be badgering you too much. The GoFundMe page is tipping along beautifully. So you just keep it up there. And we've gone through the 6,000 mark. We've absolutely shattered through the 6,000 mark in the last couple of minutes. Jerry Conway, fair play to you with a donation there. Marco D has been on as well. Marie Stack. Ronnie Kroondike has been on with a generous donation too. Annie Colleen. Arnav and Canny as well. So lots of donations coming in, and we powered right through that 6,000 mark. The GoFundMe page will remain open, and it'll be, no doubt, have gone right through that 10,000 mark and indeed beyond as well. The Irish boxing writer Kevin Byrne has been in touch on. He's been responding to your tweet there with words of encouragement for Ray.
He has indeed. He has been saying, I'll just get it up here, 2 seconds now. He's been saying, tell him it's grand, but Ross Hickey, Phil Sutcliffe and Dean Walsh are all en route to Mayo for a spar later on. Just keep a bit of diesel in the tank, he says. So keep that in mind, Ray. Don't wear yourself out too much. There's a few fights coming down the line.
Boxing MMA on YouTube says great man. A lot of clapping emojis there as well. Mark Sweeney wondering when the real press-up start. Oof, harsh stuff from Mark Sweeney because he's dogging it out here with this 1,000 press-up challenge over the course of an hour. We're 37 minutes into it, and we're smack bang on target for that 17. He's been very disciplined about it, I have to say. That I've been very impressed by that, because I did wonder, was one question I definitely had about sort of your capacity earlier on to be able to obviously knock through more than maybe the schedule allowed because you're feeling good, but he's been very disciplined about it.
Absolutely. It's been like clockwork, I think is what you described it as. I don't know the exact time and what exactly he's supposed to be hitting, but by all accounts it is fairly close on. I just can't get over how quickly they're still being pumped out. That it's like you go like the rests are still the substantial part of this, and he's still unbelievably efficient with the push-ups at the moment. I presume that is like one of the biggest challenges of this, that once you start slowing down the push-ups, it may be easier at the time, but you're eating into your rest time and you're actually just kicking the can down the road. So I think that probably speaks to your point of discipline there. And we're looking at, 408 now. This is going to go up to 425 after this, 35 minutes left on the clock.
You're breathing heavy there, Ray. Still feeling good? How are you feeling?
Still feeling good, still on track. But they are getting difficult, I won't lie.
Okay, very good. Well, look, we'll come back and check it with you in a little bit. There was one stop we had to get to, and we were dealing with such a Mayo legend. There was one man who really, we're bringing him on for one reason only. Nathan, what's your experience of doing these press-ups? What do you think of his technique here?
Oh, geez, I'll tell you, he's really pumping them out, isn't he? I've enjoyed it so far this morning, watching and listening. It's been a good morning for me in some ways, and I think my position as a commentator and off the ball is safe, listening to yourself and Owen. The highlight so far, Owen's prediction that it may get tougher as it goes on. Dear God, come on.
That kind of insight, that's why they've come up, Nathan, you know.
The negative has been that my never-ending quest to be crowned Mayo Man of the Year has taken another hit. Already we have Michael Ryan saving the world at the WHO, and now Ray Moylette destroying it, raising all this money for charity. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. You're right. He's very disciplined, isn't he?
I, for one, am
17 a minute.
astonished.
Exactly.
I am astonished that you've managed to make this whole thing about yourself, Nathan. That is really the turn up for the books that has happened this morning on OTBAM. No, you must be proud. This is exceptional stuff so far, anyway.
It is. Jeez, he's desperate to get on that Mayo Mount Rushmore. Do we have a crowning moment? Are we doing a Will O'Callaghan style? At 11:10, we get rid of Kilban and we get Ray Moylette up there.
Well, that's up to you. I would have thought. That power is in your hands, and it seems that there is a bit of a movement that if somebody is going to be etched off that mountain, it's going to be Kevin.
Yeah, you see, the reason Ray's not there is you don't want to give him too much glory too early in his career. He needs some motivation to keep things going over the next few years. I'm a bit concerned about all the focus that's been on him this week, that it might go to his head, and the desire to become world boxing champion may have been dulled somewhat by sort of feeling he's reached the top of that mountain already, but he hasn't. This is just another stepping stone towards greatness.
Well, surely the aim is not to reach the top of the mountain at all. It's to reach the side of the mountain. That's
a very, very, very good point you make there, Owen. He's getting up the mountain, I think, is the main thing. Has there been any sign of a slowdown at all yet? Have we gone? Are we still on 16, 17 a minute?
Yes, absolutely. He's been an absolute metronome about that. It's 459 done now, 33 minutes gone. He's definitely changed his technique as he identified himself with you last night and with us this morning that he would do that. As it progresses, you will have to change up your technique to reflect obviously you're getting a bit more tired as it goes on. So, but he's really, there's no sense yet. Owen was talking about the quickness of each press up. There's certainly no sense yet of them slowing up, although they've changed in their sequence.
It is a risky game plan. I was thinking that when we were talking to him on the show last night, that doing the 17 a minute basically gives them probably 40, 50 seconds at the end of breathing space. That's not a lot over the course of an hour. That if you have a little bit of a stumble, a bit of a distraction, the dog gets in the way, you're not giving yourself. Would you not be better off, I wonder, doing 20 for the first 10 minutes and just giving yourself that little bit of space? But listen, I guess it's going all right for him so far. I just hope it lasts.
It's a good point, actually. We should have got you on beforehand to actually give some advice, and he might have completely revamped his whole strategy.
I don't understand why you didn't.
I really don't either.
We shouldn't let him away without really holding to account over that absolute shambles of the Mayo Mount Rushmore. Will, you're slagging Will off, but he did the right thing in the end. He did. Obviously, it took Tottenham a while to make the decision that they needed to make, but if it's the right call in the end, you're still languishing. Are you going to change it?
No, under no circumstances. And I'm definitely going to stick with it, and I'm going to stick with Kilban because I get a sense already that during this Mount Rushmore, soccer players, footballers are going to be underestimated. They're not going to get the respect they deserve. So I think the more footballers we have up there, the better for everybody. And also,
what's giving you that sense?
This is a personal opinion. I see you've been ringing half of Westmeath because you have no bottle to actually pick people yourself when it comes to Westmeath. That you're so afraid of any sort of a backlash. So afraid of getting the odd tweet criticising your selection. You're basically having it as some sort of open forum rather than just picking the best four people. Come on.
This was do you remember which World Cup was it? Alan Shearer slagging off Lee Dixon for knowing a lot about Costa Rica in the World Cup. I effectively having done his homework. That's essentially what I'm doing. I don't want to. I watched your one and I thought, well, Jesus,
who would you prefer to be?
Alan Shearer or Lee Dixon? Shambles where I'm leaving people off the list that really should have been on it.
That pretty much sums this up, Adrian. You are Lee Dixon and I am Alan Shearer.
For fear of being liable, we probably won't go any further into that conversation. No, but I think it's right proper that you're given the honour of representing your county as best you can. The least you can do is do a bit of research and not go on and make a fool of yourself.
No, listen, Martin Sheridan, he's accepting that Kevin Kilban, he achieved in his career, his 110 caps was far above his 5 Olympic goals and 9 Olympic medals. I'm sure everybody can agree with that.
We're just coming up on half an hour gone here now, and we've passed through the 500 mark. Well done, Ray. Well done. You're past the halfway point. 513 done. Just 30 minutes on the clock as he takes a bit of a breather there. It is a chance to just get a bit of a sense of how you're feeling now over halfway there.
Yeah, I'm good. The struggle came a little bit earlier, maybe a minute or two early than the last time, but I'm confident enough I get through then. I'm through with the first half, so I think psychologically I've only 29 minutes left. So I'm in my minute breather now, just that I finish on the 60 marker. So I'm not messing around here. This is all scheduled in.
And the struggle that you talk about, when did that hit?
Probably after about 11 minutes. I thought I'd get to 20.
You have a bit of support outside. Well, look, we'll let you take your breather there without having to chat to us. We'll come back and check in with you in a little bit. Nathan, any last words of encouragement for your fellow Mayo man?
He's flying it, isn't he? He's flying it. He's cruising. Like, if there's one thing we know about Mayo people, we can trust them to get the job done.
let's not label him with that one, for God's sake.
No,
Nathan, good man.
There. Look here, the most important thing is the money is flying up. What are we at now?
We're now gone to 6,600. So DB, I don't know if it's the DB or not, but has made a very generous donation in the last few minutes. So fair play to you. Niamh Loughran has been on as well with the donation. David Gordon too, all in the last few minutes. So that total is pushing up. We're going to get to the 7K mark very shortly. Keith Winters, good man. Kira Ryan, good on you. James Kelly as well. And plenty more besides have been on that GoFundMe page. So we're at 6,600. I think we're going to catch up with you, Nathan, in a little bit.
All right. Take it easy, lad.
Good man.
Commenting here on the YouTube from Darrow to Adrian. Did AB give Ray any advice about being a champ and the singular focus it takes to persevere to victory?
Oh, you know yourself, I don't like to linger too much on massive achievements like that one was, obviously, and like putting so many quizzes back to back. I mean, I don't know if that's ever been done before.
It is the brains. It's the trivia equivalent of actually doing 1,000 push-ups. I think is actually winning 4 quizzes back to back. But yeah, just a reminder, it's GoFundMe. All the links are on our social accounts. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, there is a link in the description that is tweeted out on our Twitter account, on Ray Moylette's Twitter account. Go and donate. As we say, give whatever you can. If you can give anything at the moment, it's going to Pieta House and frontline health workers here in Ireland. €6,605 raised so far out of 10 grand, which is the target. 254 donors at this moment. So the generosity has been amazing, actually. And why wouldn't you look at this? Look at what you're watching. Why would you not donate? Yeah,
live sport on a Friday morning in the middle of lockdown. More of this is what I say, and keep the great comments coming in. We've had Niall Fadden in touch on YouTube saying good stuff, Ray. Hon Mayo, he says, and Michael Mitchell as well says serious stuff, Ray. Good man. I see Cullen Boyle do 1,000 push-ups outside Clark's and Ballantyne of a Sunday. So there we are. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, look, at 27 minutes gone, we have 548 on the clock, and very much on target to hit this 1,000. It is, no matter what happens, by design, it's going to be tight. It's going to be right up to the wire. That's exactly the design of this thing, that Ray has mapped it out in such a way that he can conserve as much energy as he possibly can to get right to the wire of 59 minutes and have racked up that 1,000 press-ups.
Sorry, just very quickly, we're seeing a change of technique here. We're seeing more of a roll of the shoulders here. Might suggest a bit more of a struggle from Moylette at this point. Interesting to see how this develops. If it's just an energy-saving technique for the next few reps, or whether or not this is actually going to be the way forward. And if it's going to be, you can probably see that there now. A lot more action from the torso and from the shoulders. 26 minutes left on the clock, just over 26 minutes. Yeah, we're very much on target. We're pushing 600 press-ups with 26 minutes gone. So we have gone long through the halfway mark. We've really rattled through them at this stage. And as Owen said, the most important thing that you can do if you're watching this morning, and we're delighted to say there's plenty of people tuned in, Ray, to encourage you along, and plenty of good comments coming in too. So we'll keep those coming at you. Head along to that GoFundMe page. It's up on our, check out our Twitter channel. You can head along to it, just grab the link there and away you go. We've gone to 6,700 now, just over it. So plenty of donations coming in, and keep them coming. Now, I'm delighted to say as well, as we get to all these various pieces of encouragement from various speakers around the country, we've gone from Eric Donovan to Nathan Murphy, and I'm delighted to say now that Niall Kennedy, Ireland's top-ranked heavyweight, joins us on the line. Morning to you, Niall.
Hiya, how are you doing, lad?
Are you watching?
Yeah, I'm watching. Yeah, I have the YouTube on silent there now, but he's flying it. He's doing brilliant.
Yeah, it's you can see that at this stage, well over halfway through that, while he's managing the technique of it and he's still being very disciplined about the number of reps he'll do per minute, you can see the technique is almost in there, sort of changed to reflect. I'm assuming that the pain is beginning to kick in a small bit.
Oh, I'd imagine so. I didn't realise his thing he put out on April Fool's Day was a joke. I tried it and I only got to 600, so fair play to him.
Yeah. What sort of it's an exercise I'm sure you're familiar with, given that you're a boxer yourself. What sort of pain will he be feeling here? Where will he be feeling it?
His shoulders will start hurting fairly bad. His lower back will probably be tinging him a little bit too. But I know he's going well. His technique is strong, and he's sticking to his 7 as well, which is a technique he told me about when I believed it. But sure, it was an April Fool's Day, out of messer. But it's brilliant. It's fantastic, and such a good cause as well. Fair play to him.
Yeah, no, he insisted April Fool's Day did actually happen. It was just a poor choice of day to get it done. But he is working through it here very steadily, and we're up to close on. We've hit 600 mark now. 600 mark with 24 minutes to go. So this is absolutely spot on, exactly where it needs to be. Obviously, it's all with the view of raising money for a great cause, and the GoFundMe page is moving along beautifully. We have got to over 6,700 now, so close on getting that 7,000, and all in aid of HSE frontline staff and Pieta House as well. People will be very familiar with your story now, I'm sure. You're a guard, obviously, as well. How's everything been for you over the last 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah, it's strange. Our shifts have been changed. We're on 4 12-hour days, and it's a unique time in the country and the world's history, I suppose. It's strange. We're all isolated. We're in lockdown, and people are frustrated. I'm seeing it's putting a massive toll on people's mental health as well. So the fact that he's included Pieta House is fantastic as one of the charities. In work it's strange. You're trying to tell people to stay at home. They should. Everyone should know as well, and truly they should be staying at home. So you're trying to do it in as nice a manner as all. But the one thing I'll say about Wicklow and Wexford and Gorey people in general is that people are taking it fairly serious, and frontline staff are getting massive support. I've never felt the support. I'm 15 years a member of An Garda Síochána, and I've never felt the support from the public like we're getting at the moment. So it's brilliant. And look, we're telling people to stay at home, but we're not doing it for our sake. We're doing it for their sake. So it's a scary time in the history of the world, I suppose, because how long will this stay and how long will this virus last? But we need to play our part in trying to win the battle as well. So Ray is doing a fantastic job with this cause, and anything that the frontline staff and HSE and nurses and doctors could get, and people working in nursing homes, everything. I've had a close friend had the virus there a couple of weeks ago, a guard, he got it, and a few out of his station got it as well. So it's this illness people have, obviously it is affecting older people far worse than it is younger people, but my friend was a young man, he's 40 years of age, and he was very badly struck down with it as well. And the Mayo man, the same as Ray there, Henry Coyle had it as well. So it affects young, fit people too, so we all have to be vigilant in sort of abiding to the guidelines of the HSE.
Yeah, no question about it. We've hit past the 6:50 mark now, just over 21 minutes to go on the clock here. Cavan Ladd in touch on YouTube saying that's already a serious amount of push-ups, and that it absolutely is. And Ray, you got this, says Israel J as well on YouTube.
We've crossed $7,000 as well on the GoFundMe page as well, which is really important. And that, I hope anyway, Ray, I know you can kind of hear us. I'm sure you're kind of got into the stage now where you're just focusing on the push-ups solely, but that is a great amount of money already raised. It's looking bloody tough in there. Keep going. We seem to be looking at a 5, 6, 7 push-up set at the moment, so it's clearly very, very tough. We're doing great though, and as I say, over $7,000, €7,015 so far, and that is constantly rising. Fair play.
Yeah, and I know Niall Ray had his hand up a bit earlier on to thank you for your encouraging words. Any last words from him before you leave us?
I've no doubt in the world he'll do it. He's done it before now. The last time he'd done it, he was 29. He's 30 now. It was his birthday the other day, so maybe the age is going to pull up on him. But as a man a lot older than him, I hope it doesn't. And I I fully believe he'll do it all right, and I urge everyone to donate to the GoFundMe page. This chap is doing a magnificent feat by him, and it's for a fantastic cause. So fair play to you and off the ball, and fair play to Ray as well.
Come on, Niall. Look after yourself. Take it easy out there.
God bless. Bye. Best of luck.
Niall Kennedy, thanks a lot. Cheers, and great words of encouragement for you there, Ray, as well. Well done. You've got this, pals. There's another commenter on YouTube. Lots of encouraging words coming in as we breached through the 20-minute left mark. Now we're at 675 press ups, so not far off on being 3/4 way through here.
No. This is tough though. This is like these are the championship minutes. He's on the edge here now. Extremely tough. Only 19 minutes to go, Ray. Absolutely can do it because you've been bashing them out pretty incredibly for the last 42 minutes or thereabouts. You can absolutely do this. 686 so far, and there's another 4 or 5 there, so that'll bring you ever closer to the 700. So just over 300 to go, Ray, and just under 19 minutes to go. And we have David Brady on the line now. David, what's the crack?
Boys, an absolute champion. Keep the head down, Ray, and keep pushing. It's boys, 692 at the minute. Actually, yeah, I did put my money where my mouth was, Adrian, as well. You couldn't but support a cause like this. It's brilliant. And you know what? It's what life is like. Everyone is doing their little bit, and Ray is doing 1,000 bits, and a fair credit to him. I know his wife Sharon is probably out there, and she's. I hope she doesn't go into labour in the next 18 minutes and 7 seconds, because Ray is still he's gonna complete it no matter what. But it's good, boys. It's good, and yeah, as you said before, the carpet. As we said, Mayo, deep pile, empty pockets. There's a serious pile on that carpet, so it costs some money. It costs some money, but I wouldn't dare to try and do 1,000 push-ups. I wouldn't try and dare do 100. But it's good. It's good, guys.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying it there. As you say, he's very much on track. We're nearly 3/4 way through in terms of the push-ups themselves. We've just over 17 minutes left. And as you said, DB, getting on that GoFundMe page, you can check it out on our, there's a link up there on our Twitter page. We'd have Paul, it's gone 7,700, by the way, so it's nearly at 8,000. It'll get close, I'm sure, to the target in the next 10 or 12 minutes or whatever length it takes us to get this done. 17 minutes, and it'll be open thereafter as well. So I'm absolutely certain that we're going to push right on through that 10,000 mark. Paul Norton, fair play to you. Barry Lysett, good on you. Shane Kennedy in with a donation there. Ger Flanagan, Phelan O'Shea. Ben and Emma Ryan, good morning to you. A massive donation from you guys, and fair play for getting in touch and really pushing that target as well. Geraldine Morris as well, Stephen Ross, Karen Coughlin, Donica O'Malley, O'Malley Darrow too, have been in contact with us on YouTube. Good man, you've been on there with a donation as well. So no shortage of people getting involved where it matters as well this morning, which is very important. And Mayo people love to get behind their own, DB.
Yeah, well, they do bar Nathan Murphy, in all fairness. He is some two-faced kid. He texted me there a few weeks ago with the Mount Rushmore and said, "Look at DB, we're only having a bit of crack. Don't take it too serious. I'm not going to put you forward. I know you have a lot. You're busy and all this, but you know what? I'd say he must have texted every other Mayo person that, and including Ray. How Ray wasn't included, I nearly go and chiseled Ray out of this. Some piece of rock if I could get it in Mayo at the minute. I put the side of his face on Crow Patrick. And
so hang on a second. You're saying that Nathan was texting people who weren't making the list to apologise?
No, not even to make it before it started. Before it even bloody started, he texted me and said, "Look at DB, we're going to have a bit of crack over the next few days, but we're going to pick 4 people to put on Mount Rushmore. I know you're busy, blah blah blah. Don't mind it. I'm only messing, and I have to put in Kilban because my wedding is over. Your wedding is over, DB, but Kilban's is still there, and they talk of Ashford Castle. You know what?" For a man from Ballyhonus trying to get Ashford Castle that much, I'd nearly buy him a voucher myself.
I feel we have to give him a right to reply at some point if there's no live in his comments.
He knows there's no right of reply. But Ray, you know what? The hardest part what Ray is doing is that each and every press up, it has to touch the pad underneath.
Yeah,
that's the most important thing. There's no cheating. Yeah. Unlike Nathan, anyway.
Just there's almost a worm technique coming into things now. It looks excruciating out there. Obviously, the top went off after 15 minutes. So you can just imagine how warm it is inside in the room at the moment. It looks like a glorious day over Mayo, actually. So that sun is beaming.
We've gone through the 7:50 mark as well. Should say that's more than 3/4 done. So 15 minutes to go. The towel is out, drying himself off there. I'm sure the sweat is in full flow. DB, you've been on with the lads chatting this week about your own bit of good work that you're doing. I presume the calls are still going out.
Still constant, and you know what? It's one of the best things I have ever done, because I've had the best conversations I've ever had in my life with people. And the one thing I do say about it, guys, is that the way conversation has gone in life, maybe its downfall is because of us or because of our age, because I've been talking to people that are 60, 70, 80 and 90 years of age, with old men 92, and the way they can converse and the way they can talk about life, whether it's GEA, their family or everything else. For me, it's been one big lesson that these people haven't used their thumbs all their life for conversations. They use their voices, their ears, and they listen. And I've had some absolutely overwhelming conversations with people up and down the country for the last week, and I continue for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, listen, good man. Thanks a million.
Boy, it's a pleasure. Good luck, Ray. Keep it going, boy. Keep strong.
Good man. David Brady on the line there, Mayo football legend, giving us a bit of insight into how the Mayo selection went on, which I thought was certainly one of the most interesting parts of that.
Absolutely. So what are we at the moment? We're at 777 press ups. We're at €7,710. So around a tenner for every press up so far. Incredible amount of money raised already. Fair play to you, Ray. Keep it going. We're almost there now. What is it? 5 to 11 on this Friday morning. 13 minutes left on the clock. Absolutely got this as he takes another slug of water, reaches for the towel. Even the idea of reaching for a towel at the moment is probably beyond the bounds of actually energy conservation as he goes down yet again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's getting 6 out of his sets at the moment. And
how are you feeling, Ray?
Let's go for the towel at this point.
Go now, yeah.
He's feeling the burn. He's nearly 800 up. 12 over 12 and a half minutes to go, so we're very much on track. Lots of support coming in for you. Nikki Christensen says, "Go Ray, hello from Australia," with a strong arm there. Geez, me back is killing me just watching, Ray, fair play. Says Peter, Ray, you got this. From another YouTube commenter there. Come on, you can do it, says VR the King. Lots of support coming through for you, and lots of support where it matters as well. Last time we mentioned it was 7,700 on the GoFundMe page. We've barreled right through that 8,000 mark on. It's gone to 8,245 now. Damien Chambers, fair play. Sarah Flynn, Fergal McCauley, Gary Mulroy, Dean Gibbons, Brendan Riley, Virginia Joyce, Trish Nolan, Lee McInerney, Keir Walsh, all with donations there. Tom Duffy with a great donation as well. So Tina Curran, good morning to you as well with a donation there too. So keep those donations flowing. Gone right through 8,000 now. That target for the HSE frontline staff in Pieta House of 10,000 very much in sight now.
Ray Moylette inspired a movement around the country. A group of 15 people doing the challenge in a private Zoom now in support of Ray. They started bang on 10, so they've got only a couple of minutes left. Jason Quigley, Jerry Hussey, Tony O'Gregan, all involved in that. You can see Eric Lillywhite Donovan as well on Twitter with his kid doing a few push-ups as well in front of the screen. You are inspiring everybody to get down and see how well hoovered their carpets are this morning, Ray. Fair play to you. 11 minutes left, 817 done. You can absolutely do this. This is done. Same sort of rate now, and you'll be over the line. You'll be over the line, no bother at all.
Right, we've been speaking to various voices that have been keeping Ray going here over the last 50 minutes. We're just under 11 minutes to go now, 822. Must be nearly 830 now in the can. Latest person we want to catch up with, a boxing nut broadcaster. You'll be familiar with him from various shows on the radio and TV over the years, and a bit of a gym bunny as well. Aidan Power, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, once upon a time a gym bunny. That's old news at this stage. I'm not taking part in this challenge, but I'm in pain watching it. I'm also in awe of you, Ray. If you can hear us this morning, what you're doing is tremendous stuff. And most people only climb Mount Everest once. The fact this is his second time attempting this is nuts, but it's great and all for a good cause. So, Ray, these are the championship rounds. Bite down on that gum shield. Come on.
Yeah, great stuff. What's the gym bunny thing of the past? But you're well used to going through this sort of pain, and you're well used to being involved in the ring as well. We spoke to Eric Donovan earlier on, Aidan, about getting into that sort of the fighter's mindset. He's very much deep into that now, I would think.
yeah, you're definitely wrong to try and draw me into any comparisons between actual professional fighters. I'm just the idiot who's in the crowd shouting, "Go on, hit him harder," and yeah, tried it once or twice myself in a white collar capacity, but nothing on the level of these boys, particularly what Ray is doing now. Interesting with the setup this morning that Ray said it's like he wanted to recreate the changing room feel. Ray will know this. This is nothing like any of the changing rooms he's been in over the years with his Celtic Warrior teammates, with the likes of his trainer Pascal Collins, with Big Niall Kennedy, who you heard from earlier, the likes of Spike O'Sullivan. It would be a lot noisier in there. So I'm just wondering what's going through his head in there right now, particularly now as we come hopefully towards the finish line. And as you mentioned, Owen, as well, from the very start, I was concerned about the sun beaming in, turning his living room into a greenhouse.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Like, this is a really unusual setup for anybody. Like, we've been talking a lot behind closed doors sport over the last couple of weeks. Like, the adrenaline rush you get off a home crowd on your back must be incredible. And for him to be doing it in silence here, like, it doesn't feel like silence where we're sitting from, because we're seeing the comments flood in, the donations flood in, and it feels like there's a bit of a crowd here online. But there in the room, it is silence. They can probably just hear us yapping away, really. So it's unbelievable. 856, just over 8.5 minutes to go. He's got this, lads, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he's got down now. He's working on reps at 3 and 4 at a time here. You can see that it's really, the pain is coursing through his body here. You can see that he's taking a bit of a slip there. That carpet might be to blame for that. I'm sure it's getting slippy. 862 on the
Come on,
clock.
Ray.
You can do it. You've got over 8 minutes to go here. Keep knocking them out. He's definitely, the technique is beginning to suffer a small bit in terms of being able to bang out those 3 or 4 reps at a time. How are you keeping, Aidan?
Yeah, very good, lads. Yeah, in relative terms to many other people, we're doing all right, adapting to this, working from home during the week, still working in Virgin Media on the telly on the weekends. So grateful still to be doing all that, and just want to wish everyone well, and our frontline staff and all these great causes that Ray is raising money for this morning. They're the true heroes, along with people like Ray who are going out of the way to raise money. There's easier ways to raise 10 grand, but Ray doesn't know any easier ways, which is impressive. Come on, Ray, get up. Come on,
Ray.
Yeah. Fair play. You were another
Ray,
man to
you
put
got
his,
to imagine you're inside the Theatre Royal in Castlebar. The crowd are willing you on. They're cheering you on. 2 rounds to go, Ray. Come on, put it in.
Absolutely incredible. 8.5 grand raised, Ray. The whole country, it seems, there's more and more people tuning in, more and more people donating. The closer you're getting, you're flying it. This is unbelievable already. You're definitely within shooting distance. 875, just over 7 minutes. One more 7 minutes, Ray, and to get over the line. Unbelievable. I'm sure that there's, like, after doing it on April 1st, there's probably even a little bit of fatigue over the last couple of weeks as well. This is such a challenge. This is tougher than the first time around, as in, like this looks like a bit of a sweat box as well in his front room. So the conditions are insane by the looks of things.
He's spot on target, by the way. This is absolutely 100% spot on target, working it out here. He's absolutely spot on. But you can see the pain is coursing through his veins, but he's absolutely spot on exactly where he needs to be. Aidan, fair play to you. Look after yourself. Thanks for taking the call.
Cheers, guys. Come on, Ray. Bite down. Come on.
Good man. Good stuff. And good reference there to Castlebar as well. Kevin Byrne will be back in touch to tell him to think about that 20-minute walk out of the Royal Theatre in Castlebar. If you could bottle that energy, I think many of us remember that night as well. So that's exactly what he needs to be thinking about at this stage, with just over 6 minutes on the clock, approaching 900. So the countdown from 100 will begin very shortly indeed. He needs to take great encouragement from that, Ray. He's knocking out 3 and 4 at a time, keeping himself well wiped down. I'm sure the palms are sweaty and it's making the grip on that carpet probably all the tougher, but lots of great encouragement coming in for you. Never give up, dude, says VR the King. Keep on, Ray. Keep it going, says Barry Masterson. Go on, Ray, says another commenter here on plenty of commenters on YouTube as well. So lots of encouragement coming in. We're about to bash right through that 900 mark. So less than 100 to go now. I think once that live count updates itself in the next couple of moments.
We've officially passed 900 now. Yeah,
Great
past
stuff.
900 now. He's just tipped over into 903, 904 territory. Joel updated for us there in a sec. Like, this is incredible. This is like what people who are just tuning in need to realize how. Like even Ray was saying earlier on, how quickly his technique had to change, how quickly he started gassing on this occasion, as opposed to the last one. He was on with us last week on OTBAM saying how unbelievably tough the April Fool's Day push-up challenge was. Today, he's gassed earlier. He's put himself up against the wall earlier than he's ever done it before, and he just about got over the line last time. He can absolutely do this. 907 done and counting. 5 minutes left. Unfortunately, that's also counting. Time is against him, but the press-up challenge count is certainly in his favour at the moment. Flying us. Good man, Ray. And we've crossed, or approaching, I should say, $9,000. We can absolutely get to the 10K target. That should fly up over the next couple of minutes. Ray Moylette, Mayo legend. You can see the face being chiseled out on Mount Rushmore as we speak.
Hector Huckagon, good morning to you. Hector's been in touch saying, come on, Ray, go on, Ray. Drive it on now, the last 100. So we're very much inside that. Jerry Hussey on the line as well, a man who works with Ray, we mentioned a bit earlier on in terms of working with him on the mental side, joins us on the line. Morning to you, Jerry. Any words of encouragement last words of encouragement for Ray here as we enter inside the last 4 minutes?
Yeah, good morning. The first thing I'd say is if it wasn't anybody but Ray Moylette, you might question it, but I know Ray long enough. And I know what he has inside of him. So I'm sitting here watching the clock, and I've no doubt he's going to do it. He can find, as we all witnessed that night in Westport, or in Castlebar, he can find something inside him, and I know he'll find it. So I think we're in for a real good finish now.
Yeah, we've around about, we've just over 70 to get through here, actually, just slightly less.
Sorry, are you out of breath there, Jerry? What's been going on?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm out of breath. We've been doing the challenge with him, so I have a group of people that I put together, and we all took the challenge on this morning. Now we all did 600 press-ups each, so we had a group of 15. So our target was 9,000 press-ups as a group. We're fundraising for Ray as well. So I've just finished my 600 one day, and we did it well under the hour, so we're delighted. But I've no doubt Ray will be pushing us to do the 1,000 next time.
Yeah, I've absolutely no doubt about that. Jerry, come on. Thanks a million for those thoughts. We've just over 3 minutes to go here. We've come on. Good stuff, Jerry Hussey on the line there. Just over 3 minutes to go. We've 936 press-ups done according to our live counter. 940 done. We've 60 to go. We are under a bit of pressure at this point because we should probably be a little bit further along the track, Ray. So we got to knock these out. We've 3 minutes to go now. 943 or 4, I think, up on the clock at this stage. We're still right on that line of the target line to get this done, and the GoFundMe page is ticking along beautifully as well.
Come on, Ray.
As Owen said, we've gone right through that 9,000 mark, Ray. Come on, we got to get this done.
Absolutely, 100%. Still in your control, Ray. It's going to be the toughest 2.5 minutes in a long, long time, but absolutely within your control. We've been watching it now for the guts of an hour.
4,
no question in our mind you can absolutely
5,
knock this out of the park and get over the line.
45 to go. 2 minutes 20 to do it.
Strong finish. This is what you saved any little ounce of energy for now, Ray. This is it. Come on, Ray.
954 on the clock.
954 on the clock.
9,135.
We should appreciate that we will be watching
2 minutes to go.
Slight delay. Under 2 minutes now, Ray.
Another one. We've under 2 minutes to go now. I think we've 43 to still rack up here. This is going to be right to the wire. This is tough going. You can see that pain he's going through.
This is it. Just 90 seconds. 90 seconds to get it done.
2, 3, 4.
Whatever happens.
Update that live counter there now. He's put a real effort into this, Owen. You're absolutely spot on. He's really pulling everything he has. Every last ounce of energy is going into this.
Just over 90. Just 30, Ray. Just over a minute to go. You're going to have to get a push-up done every 3 seconds here or thereabouts. Can absolutely do it.
3 done. 27 to go. 25 to go. And a minute to do it. You're going to have to get over your expectation of 17. Here, Ray, you've got 1 minute to do it. 2, 3, 4. 45 seconds to go. We're going to get very tight here for the 1,000. Come on, Ray. You can do this.
Come on, Ray.
35 seconds to go. Dog it out. We're going to struggle to get to the 1,000 here. I think we're going to push it very close to.
Keep pushing, Ray. Keep pushing. Let's get to the 1,000. Let's get to the
3
1,000.
with 20 seconds to go. Get as close. You have 15 with 15 seconds to go. We're not going to get to the 1,000.
15.
We're going to get close as you can get, Ray. It's never been done before.
1, 2, 3.
We've got Navas 990. The clock is just going to beat us. The clock has beaten us at 9:09. I think when that updates itself.
Keep going, Ray.
We'll
keep
be very
going.
close, but we'll keep going, absolutely.
2. 10 more to go.
3.
9.
You can do 10. Come on, you can do 10.
We'll stick with you, Ray. We'll stick with you. You've done an absolutely Trojan effort here. This has been unbelievable to watch.
7 to go.
Come on.
2.
I think we've 4 left. 5 to go.
Come on, Ray. Come on.
3.
There's
only 2 more to go here. Come on, Ray. Come on.
1.
You can do this. This has been an unbelievable effort so far.
All right.
And you're on the brink of your 10,000 target as well. The last one. Yes.
Good. One more.
No, that's it.
Yeah, no, 1,000. We've got us.
No, that's it. Yeah.
One for good luck. Well done, Ray.
Incredible. Unbelievable, Ray. Unbelievable.
Absolute hats off. That was
like unbelievable. That was what we just witnessed there was warfare between the mind and the body, and the body had completely given up on you, Ray. The arms had gone to jelly. They'd gone to jelly completely in the last couple of minutes, but what an unbelievable effort to get over and push the mind through that, even though the arms just weren't there for the last few. Outstanding, unbelievable, as he deservedly takes a lie down.
Definitely, and mind over body on as well after when the clock had ticked past, and the temptation might have been to lay down at that point and give up on it, but he didn't. He kept going and bashed right on through it. How are you feeling, Ray? Well done.
Oh, thanks, guys. Sorry,
Jesus
I didn't make
Christ.
1,000. Sorry, I didn't make the 1,000 in the hour.
You've done something far better than that, Ray. You've raised €9,865 so far, and counting.
I didn't raise that money. The people that donated raised that money, and yourselves that kept the push on and kept chatting with the people to get it through. He did this, lads. I was out here messing around in the sitting room myself. He raised the money, and the people donated. So the power to ye. I'm only here, one man on his couch. He did all the work.
That was unbelievable. Like, can you even begin to describe what you were feeling there in the last 5 minutes?
I can. It was different, a lot different this time than the last time. My head was fully in it this time, and it was easy to keep motivated, but my body let me down. The last time I did it on my own, here with the dog, my head was playing games with me, but my body was sound. So this time, it was the reverse, and my body let me down this time. But it's okay. I reached 1,000, but I apologise to everyone who backed me for 1,000 in the hour, that I didn't reach that quota. But I left it all in there.
Not at all.
I put it all in the floor.
There's nothing. The amount of money and awareness that you've raised, and the entertainment you've given people this morning, there's absolutely no requirement for any apologies here, Ray Moylette. You've done your country service this morning, and hats off to you. That's an unbelievable effort. Tell us about when you say that the body gave up on you. Was there a point where you thought, Jesus, I'm not going to get to the 1,000? Or were you still hopeful heading into the last minute?
Probably at the 50-minute marker, I was pushing, as in I was very bought into it. My head was able for it, but I was pushing up maybe the last reps of the 4s and 5s, actually the 6s. I started failing, so that didn't happen before, so I didn't know what to expect, but it just crept down and it kept getting closer to the start. So it was coming. It started at 6 and then it was coming to 4 or 5, down to 3. So I could only manage nearly singular reps at that one stage. But I put my body on the line with it. I didn't have anything else to offer there. And if for ye giving me the encouragement and all your guests that come on and everyone that was donating, that kept me through it. I would have thrown the towel in there if it was back in April 1st and there was no one watching. So I appreciate that, and thank you very much for everything you've done for me.
Ray, thank you. And you're the last man to be apologising this morning. Absolutely furthest thing to be in that position this morning. Incredible watching that, just to see what one person can do with their body under pressure as well. Let's not forget. And like I said it there a moment ago, it looked like the arms were turning to jelly at the end. Like not only did your mind want to give up, it felt like your mind, no matter how strong it was was always going to put you in a position where it was going to be tough.
And that's it. And that's why I took on the challenge number one, because that's my mindset anyway. I'm always looking for something different and something that'll push my body. I'm not someone that'll sit on the couch and wait for everything to pass me by. So I sort of made this decision to put myself under pressure, put myself on the spot. And you know what? It was entertaining, as you said yourself there. Someone struggling on their last few reps, not getting up. That's better television than if someone's seen me blitz through 1,000 push-ups there in a half an hour. I don't think there's any drama or fun in that. So I hope your viewers got a laugh, and I hope the doubters got what they wanted as well. But I hope, even if they doubted me, but I hope to have the support moving forward now, that I'm not afraid to put my heart on my sleeve, and I'm not afraid to fail either. But I'm very determined to get to the top of whatever I do. And whether I get there or not, it's sort of matterless at the end of the day. But once I can put myself through it, and once I can keep chasing that, we're all entitled to dream, and we can always keep reaching for what we can.
Yeah, well, don't you spend any second today thinking having any regrets about this, because what you've done is a brilliant thing. You've said it yourself, and you need to come around to that way of thinking rather than any idea of having left anybody short here. We've had lots of support. I've been, and you'll get a sense of it later on today when you start to hopefully pick through some of the great comments that have come through for you. I hope you heard them coming through as we were going through it, but I'll give you a few of them here before we let you off to go and rest and recuperate from it. Boxing MMA, who was in touch all the way through, saying a few seconds after an hour, it was incredible stuff by Ray, a legend of a man. Good man, Ray, Sadara O'Toole. Unbelievable achievement, Rory Mulcahy. Incredible from Jane B. Nearly in tears watching him here from another YouTube commenter. John Daly says, Ray Moylette, the man, the myth, the legend. What a man. Great scenes, some going from Dave O'Regan. I mean, I'm only giving you a bit of a flavour of the breadth of the comments that are coming through here, Ray. But good stuff, Ray, from South Africa, says Rudolph Maluleke. Dara O'Toole says, absolutely incredible. A warrior, well done, from Fergal O'Shea. You've moved people this morning.
Well, I hope I've inspired some people, and I hope I've helped people. And obviously, it goes without saying that I've helped the two charities, the HSE frontline staff and Pieta House. They're the real winners in this. I'm the man that just took the dog by the scruff of the neck and just tried to put it on. But I hope people have seen that. Don't be afraid to fail, and don't be afraid to take on a challenge of whatever is there. Like, I've come up short in 99% of the things in my whole life. I've come up short, but that doesn't stop me from chasing that 1%, because I know when I get that 1%, it's going to be worth it all. And that's what anything is worth the amount of time you put into it. So if you put the time and the effort into something and you reach it, you'll have some value for it. So I didn't get this today. I didn't win my title in Castlebar. Mayo didn't win, Sam Maguire. There's a lot of short stories there and a lot of sad stories, but that doesn't stop us from going again next year. From Mayo looking for Sam in 2020. From me trying to get another fight back in Castlebar and get my title. From me trying to raise more money for these funds with another challenge down the line. That failing this one won't take away from that. But obviously, I'm an athlete, and I'm disappointed I didn't reach the target. But if I reached the target of 1,000 push-ups and I didn't raise the amount of money that I did, that would be far bigger failure in my eyes. So the main target was raising the money for the two charities, and what I did on the floor here, on the carpet as you call it, I used the carpet because it reminds me of boggy ground here in Mayo. So reaching the target for the charities was the real winner, and whatever I done here was secondary.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head there, Ray, and I can tell you that on that front, you're an absolute success. That you've bashed through that 10,000 mark. It's up to 10,400 now, so well done.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I can't believe it. I set out the target of 10,000 and I was afraid. I've never seen that amount of money before. Never mind with my name beside it. Now I know I was looking for it, which is one thing, but that was a target that was way out of my reach. I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd get it, but I said, you know what, I'm going to try it. The charities deserve it, and they deserve anything I can get for them. So I did. I went beyond my own limits when asking for that money, but I knew how good people were. The amount of support I get on social media on a regular basis, I knew I have great people around me, and I have yourselves that have given me so much publicity with the local papers and the radios here in Mayo. Nationally, I've got massive range. This got legs, and it was a snowball effect. It just kept going over, and the amount of people that have made videos and helped me out with it, like it just took on a world of its own. My name is attached to it, but realistically, I'm only a part of it. I'm only the 1% of the whole bundle. I threw my name into the hat, but with everyone, they made it an occasion. You made it an event, and everyone that donated made it a success.
Well, you wouldn't have seen I think the character of the jar is testament to the number of people who've been queuing up this morning to come on and either drop comments on the various channels they've been watching on or drop on the line. We have another one of those who's on to congratulate you. Jason Quigley, good morning to you.
How's the farm? How's things? How you keeping, Ray?
Good morning, Jay. Good to have you.
You too, man. Mighty stuff, mighty stuff. I was along the whole way there, was he? So was me and Jerry and the Don Bombers were flat out as well, so we were. And you did mighty stuff, Ray, I have to say now. Like, you were chatting a few things there about failure, not making the 1,000, but as you says, like, getting that 10,000 plus now and getting everybody up this early in the morning, well, not too early, but getting everybody up in the morning, it can be early for some people, and getting them doing this activity, getting them doing this exercise, sending out the positive feed. It's a massive success in a time that we're all going through now, and I have to say, I'm proud of you. We've come a long way from those rooms in Kazakhstan and Minsk and Belarus and places like that.
That's it. We've come a long way, all right, but I think that's testament to ourselves that we came up on such a great structure at the high performance team, and we've built a legacy there, and we've built great friendship. And like I've heard Eric Donovan and yourself come on there, Jerry Hussey, like I've made friends for life on them journeys over the years, and thanks to everyone for the support, and fair play to the Dawn Bombers. They've been a great asset of mine as well for helping me raise a few pounds, and I hope lots of people are at home doing some sort of workout to help me with it. I was struggling there in the last few, and I could have done with tagging someone in to help me. But if overall continuous, I'd say we definitely broke the 1,000 barrier between everyone within the hour. But if I can also add, I wonder extra time. Does extra time come into it? If it was an all-hour final, there was a delay there in speed. I'm here.
I think that's you may have one to look for anything, so you hold to one aside.
I think that the pile on that carpet, I think definitely would have meant that you get a few extra seconds out of it. I don't think there's any question about that.
I think our internet here, or our Wi-Fi might be a bit delayed. Would I get away with
that? Listen, there's the amount of people who've been in touch this morning. Pieta House have been in touch on Twitter to say absolutely unbelievable, and thanks to everybody for supporting, and particularly to yourself. We'd echo that. The audience echoes it. Jason echoed it. All the people we had on over the course of the last hour and a little bit have been saying that, have been speaking to what a character you are, been speaking to the grit that you have, the success that you've achieved here this morning. And I know that you're, from listening to you, too humble to take the credit for it. You're nearly at 11,000 now with that GoFundMe page. And I'm absolutely certain that'll continue to grow as well over the coming hours and days. Fair play to you. Go and rest and recuperate. What are you going to do now to celebrate this?
Be honest with you, I'm heading to work now at 1 o'clock. I'm scheduled. I was actually meant to be at work this morning, but I changed my schedule to be able to do this. So back in, there's no airs or graces here. It's back to the grindstone, and I'll have a cup of tea after this and get ready for the day off. It's nice to get outside and back into that fresh air. No point dwelling on this too much. I have to keep moving. But I bet you there's one happy man out there, and he's probably delighted. He's probably skipping around his own sitting room, and that's Kevin Kilban. He's back on Mount Rushmore. He has another time up there until I'm going to have to try and get him off in my boxing career. He's won this fight, or he's won the battle, but I'm going to win the war.
On that note, listen, good man, from ourselves here at Off the Ball, it's an absolute pleasure dealing with you over the last few days to get this up and running. On behalf of everybody who donated, on behalf of the extremely worthy causes that you've raised money for, thanks very much. Look after yourself, and good on you.
Thank you very much, guys. Best of luck, and thanks to all the donations, and God bless.
Good stuff. Thanks a million. Ray Moylette on the line there. He's reached his target. He's powered on through it. It's over 11 grand. And from us, from a very specially extended OTB AM this morning, good morning.